Hari Om Sarvagurubhyo Namaha. We have been doing the creation hymn, Purusha Suktam. I'll do a few more verses today. Om Sahasrashirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva Atyatishtat Dashangulam Purusha Evedagam Sarvam Yadbhutam Yaccha Bhavyam Utamritatvasyeshanaha Yadannena Tirohati Etavanasya Mahima Atojjaya Gascha Purushaha पादोऽस्य विश्वभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपाधूर्ध्वमुदयत्पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामत् शासनानशने अभि तस्मात् विराडजायत विराजो अधिपूरुषः स जातो अत्यरिच्यत पश्चात् भूमिमतो पुरः ॐ शान्तिः 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 यस्तात्मीयपरं वरप्रदगुरो वैराग्यभाग्यो ददौ वेदान्तामृतसारवन्तमनघा श्रीनिवासाद्गुरोः श्रीशैलान्वयकौस्तुभस्य तनयं श्रेयो निधे श्रीनिधेः वन्दे साधुकटाक्षकेलिनिलयं श्रीकृष्णसद्देशिकम् गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रसङ्ग्रहैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्मात् विनिसृता मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्बसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम् भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण मोहिनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी प्रोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैर्रणनिधि कैवर्तककेशवः. So we had stopped here of Arjuna praising the universal form of Krishna. Tamadi Deva Purusha Puranam Puranaha Tamasya Vishwasya Parannidanam Vettasi Vedyancha Parancha Dama Prayatatam Vishwamananta Rupa. I said, you are the primal God, the primordial person. You are the ultimate refuge of the universe, Param Nidhanam. You are the knower and the goal of knowledge. You are the supreme abode and you pervade the entire universe with your infinite form. That's where, and he continues to give him more and more attributes. वायुर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वः पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते. Keeps on going down over and over again. So you are Yama, you are the Vayu, you are Agni, you are Varuna, you are Shashanka, and the grandsire, you are the Prajapati. So I salute to 1,000 times Sahasrakritvaha, then and over again. Punascha Bhuyopi Namo Namaste. Vayuryamognivaruna Shashankaha
वायुर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः शशाङ्कः
Prajapatistvam Prapitamahascha
प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च
Namo Namastestu Sahasrakritvaha
नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वः
Punascha Bhuyopi Namo Namaste.
पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते.
Some more namastes now. Nama purastadata prishtataste namostute sarvata eva sarva ananta viryam ita vikramastvam sarvam samapnoti tatosi sarvaha. He's telling that every direction is a salute you because he's so vast, he's immense, so you cannot just salute from one direction, he's all over. So I salute from every direction. You have unfathomable energy, and immeasurable courage. Ananta Viryam, Amita Vikramastvam. You pervade everything, therefore you are everything. Sarvam Samapnoti Tatosi Sarva. So you are everything. So I salute you from every direction. You have unfathomable energy. an immeasurable courage, and you pervade everything. Therefore, you are everything. Namah purastadata prishtataste.
नमः पुरस्तादत पृष्ठतस्ते
Namostute sarvata eva sarva.
नमोऽस्तु ते सर्वत एव सर्व
Anantaviryamiti vikramastvam.
अनन्तवीर्यामितविक्रमस्त्वम्
Sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha.
सर्वं समाप्नोषि ततोऽसि सर्वः
Then he says how familiar he was with him until knowing that how great he is. Saketi matva prasabham yaduktam he Krishna he Yadava he Saketi ajadata mahimananta vedam maya pramadat pranayena vapi. So he says, I was considering you, taking you as just a friend, taking you for granted as a friend, unaware of your greatness. Not knowing that, uh, Ajanata Mahimanam, not knowing your greatness. I used to call, hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey friend, like that, Saketi, hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi, hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey friend. Per, perhaps out of familiarity or sheer carelessness or carelessness, Pramada I was doing out of pranaya of your familiarity or closeness or just carelessness. So taking you for granted as a mere friend and unaware of your greatness, I have casually addressed you as hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey friend, perhaps out of familiarity or sheer carelessness. So that's what he's saying here. Sakheti matva prasabham eduktam.
सखेति मत्वा प्रसभं यदुक्तम्
हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति
हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सकेति
अजानता महिमानन्तवेदं
अजानता महिमानं तवेदं
मया प्रमादात् प्रणयेन वापि.
मया प्रमाणात् प्रणयेन वापि
Yeah, this sloka reminds me of our experience in National High School. They used to teach us few verses of chapter 11 and like that. One of the person teaching us was H.S. Shivaram, was our math teacher also. He's actually Sanketi. So when he taught us, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Saketi, we all said, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Sanketi. Kind of, he was very very nice teacher anyway. So he did not. He was happy to know that Krishna was a Sanketi. यच्चावः सार्थमसत्कृतोऽसि विहारशय्यासन भोजनेषु एकोतवाप्यच्युत तत्समक्षम् Kamaye tvam aham apramayam. He's asking for forgiveness here. In whatever other ways, he told you a few ways how he has been very casual with him. Now, few more ways. In whatever other ways, I may have jokingly offended you. Apahasa, like at play or at rest, vihara, shayyasana, bhojaneshwal, while having meals, might have done some pranks. So during conversation or meals, either alone or in company of others. Please forgive me for everything. So in whatever other ways I may have jokingly offended you while at play or at rest, shayyasana, or during conversation or at meals, either alone or in the company of others, in front of others. Please forgive me for everything. It says, यच्चावः सार्थमसत्कृतोऽसि
यच्छावः सार्थमसत्कृतोऽसि
विहारशय्यासनभोजनेषु
विहारशय्यासनभोजनेषु
एकोतवाप्यच्युत तत्समक्षम्
एको तवाप्यच्युत तत्समक्षम्
तत्क्षामये त्वामहमप्रमेयम्.
तत्क्षामये त्वामहमप्रमेयम्
So he kind of addresses him as Achyuta here. Achyuta means no blemish, without any chuti, no blemish. You're a blemishless person. So I was doing all this unshakable, infallible. You have nothing like that, nothing less in you. But I was making fun of you. पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य त्वमस्य पूज्यश्च गुरुर्गरीयान् न त्वत्समोत्सप्यधिकस्कृतोऽन्यो लोकत्रयेऽप्यप्रतिमप्रभाव. Third line is kind of very compound word. It is na tvatsamaha, not tatsamaha, asti abhyadikaha. Nothing there better than you. So you are the father of all the moving and immoving thing in this world, of animate and inanimate. You are the object of worship. Tamasya Pujyasya. You are the greatest teacher. Gurur Gariyan, greatest teacher. There is no one equal to you in the three worlds. You are you are of incomparable greatness. How can any other be great? Can you? Apratima Prabhava. Who else can be greater than you? Pitasi Lokasya Characharasya
पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य
Tvamasya Pujyasya Gururgariyan
त्वमस्य पूज्यश्च गुरुर्गरीयान्
Natvat Samostyapyadika Kutonyo
न त्वत्समोऽस्त्यभ्यधिकः कुतोऽन्यो
Lokatrayopya Pratima Prabhava.
लोकत्रयेऽप्यप्रतिमप्रभाव.
Some more aspects here. Tasmat Pranamya Pranidhaya Kayam Prasadayet Tvam Ahamisha Midhyam Piteva Putrasya Sakheva Sakyuhu Priya Priyayarhasi Deva Sodam. He says there, therefore, I offer my respect to you, Pranamya, and plead you, Pranidaya Kayam Prasadayetvam Ahamisha Medium. Have mercy on me, I plead you. He gives some comparison, just like a father pardons his son, a friend forgives, Sakheva Sakyu, friend gives a friend, another Priya Priyaya, that is a lover, how he kind to a beloved, even if they do something bad, how they are forgiving. So therefore, I offer my respects and plead you to have mercy on me, just as a father pardons his son, a friend forgives another, or a lover is kind to his beloved. You be merciful to me like that. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam
तस्मात् प्रणम्य प्रणिधाय कायं
prasadaye tvam ahamisha midhyam
प्रसादये त्वामहमीश मीढ्यम्.
piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyuh
पितेव पुत्रस्य सखेव सख्युः
priya priyaryarhasi deva sodham.
प्रियः प्रियार्यार्हसि देव सोढुम्.
So he reiterates what he saw now again. Adrishta purvam prishitosmi drishtva payena cha pravyatitham mano me tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jagannivasa. This adrishta purvam, nothing, I had never seen you before like this, but I am delighted. Prishitosmi drishtva. Drishtva, prishitosmi, having seen you something I had never seen before, this very rare form, I am delighted. I am also trembling. Bhayena cha pravyatitam manomi. I am really also scared looking at you like this, trembling. So therefore, prasida devasha, be kind to me and show me your familiar form. Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam. So therefore, show me your usual form which I am familiar with. So I am delighted to have seen this rare form, never seen before. Drishta Purvam, never seen before, and yet I am trembling. Be kind to me and show me your familiar form, which I am used to. Adrishtapurvam hishitosmi drishtva
अदृष्टपूर्वं हृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा
bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me
भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे
tadeva me darshaya deva rupam
तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपम्
prasida devesha jagannivasa.
प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास.
He's telling, now he's describing how he likes to see him. Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam ichchami tvam drashtumaham tataiva tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte. So now he has become 1,000 on one, but 1,000 on one. I wish to see you as before. As before is he had Krishna was already always shown with four arms. So please assume that four-arm form, even he was born like that. That's what Bhagavatam says. Wearing a crown and holding mace and discus. That is his normal form. Normal form itself is a little bit abnormal, but that is what Arjuna was used to. Therefore, O thousand-armed one, I wish to see you as before. Please assume that four-armed form, wearing a crown and holding a mace and discus. Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam
किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम्
ichcha vitvan drashtumaham tathaiva
इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव
tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena
तेनैव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन
sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte.
सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते.
Now, of course, Krishna obliges. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Prasannena Tavarjunedam Rupam Param Darishima Atma Yoga Tejomayam Vishwamanantamadhyam Yanme Tadanyena Datashtapurvam. Is telling that it is through my yogic power. Darshitam Atma Yoga. Atma Yoga. I showed you this yogic power and grace. I have revealed you this universal form which infinite, unique, and full of splendor. Apart from you, no one else has seen this from before, in this form before. So it is through his own yogic power I have revealed you this universal form. Infinite, unique, and full of splendor. Tejomayam Vishwam Anantamadhyam. Apart from you, no one has seen this form before. I'm not sure because we thought that he showed all his universal form to Yashoda when he thought the baby Krishna was eating mud and she asked, "Did you eat mud?" He opens his mouth and shows the universal form. And I think he also showed this when Duryodhana wanted to capture him and imprison him when he went for mediation. Maybe he knows what he is saying, so we have to assume that this kind of form he never showed any time before. Sri Bhagavanuvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Maya prasannena tavarjunedam
मया प्रसन्नेन तवार्जुनेदं
rupam param darshidamatmayogat
रूपं परं दर्शितमात्मयोगात्
tejomayam vishwamanantamadhyam
तेजोमयं विश्वमनन्तमाद्यं
यन्मे त्वदन्येन न दृष्टपूर्वम्.
यन्मे त्वदन्येन न दृष्टपूर्वम्.
So now he says, even with lot of other things, exercise, power, other practices, you cannot see me. This is very rare. Na veda yajna jayanena danaihi na cha kriyavir na tapobir ugraihi evam rupam shakya aham nriloke drashtam tvadanyena kurupravira. Kurupravira, of course, here is Arjuna. Neither by worship, nor by scholarship, nor by through charitable or pious activities, uh, and not even by severe austerities. Tapobi rugraihi, ugrai tapaha abhi. Even with that, any kind of activity, nachakriyabi, can anyone see me in this form? So it's very rare. This form was shown for the sake of Arjuna. Of course, Sanjaya saw this by default. It was shown for the sake of Arjuna, but neither by worship, nor by scholarship, nor through charitable or pious activities, not even by severe austerities, can anyone else see me in this form. न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैर्
न वेदयज्ञार्घ्य ध्ययन ध्ययनैर्न
that is
दानैर्
that is Veda Yajna Adhyayana. Na Veda Yajna Adhyayana na Dhanai. Na Veda Yajna Adhyayana is a study of the Veda. Na Veda Yajna Adhyayana na Dhanai.
न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैर्
Na Chakriya Vil na Tapo Virugraihi.
न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः
Evam Rupa Shakya Ahan Loke.
एवं रूपः शक्यम् अहं नृलोके
Drashtam Tvadanyena Kuru Pravira.
द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर
So Adhyayana is the study of the Veda, recitation of the Vedas. So that is so Veda Adhyayana. They used to say Veda Adhyayana, and that reminds me of a joke my mom used to tell about when my father was very young, growing up in Talakadu. Uh, at that time, the school had just started, government school. They don't want they were very orthodox. They didn't want this, they used to call it Pallikudam. The Pallikudam, all the people will be there in the school. So my father's father, grandfather, didn't want him to go to school. He just wanted him to study Adhyayanam at home. But my father's mother, women are always more visionaries and cleverer. She told my father, if you just do Adhyayanam, you won't even have meals for Madhyana. Even one meal you will not have. Madhyana in Kannada is lunch. So if you do Adhyayana only, even Madhyana Uta won't be there. So behind back of my grandfather, he enrolled him in the school. Of course, he went on to get BA in English, all those things. He was very good in Adhyayana also. So all those things. Anyway, did we do this verse?
yeah
We can do one more time. Naveda yajna jayanair nadhanair
न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैर्
na chakriyavir na tapovirugraihi.
न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः
Evam रूपः शक्यमहं नृलोके
एवं रूपः शक्यम् अहं नृलोके
दृष्टं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीरा.
द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर
So now he gives him some consolation. Don't be afraid. Mate vyata macha vimudha bhavo drishtva rupam ghoramidrangamedam vyapeta vipritamanah punastvam tadeva me rupamidam prapashya. So he said, don't get scared. Mate vyata, don't be afraid. Um, seeing my dreadful form, this ghora form, free from fear, uh, and be with a light heart. Take it easy now. See my gentle form, which is familiar to you. Tadeva me rupam idam prapasya, whatever is your usual form. Right? So don't be afraid, having seen me in a very dreadful form. Be free from fear and with light heart, see my gentle form, which is familiar to you. Here, Vimuda Bhava is don't get uh, being deluded state, confused state, don't be afraid by seeing those things. That's what he means. Mate vyata macha vimudha bhavo
मा ते व्यथा मा च विमूढभावो
दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमिदृङ्गमेदम्
दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमीदृङ्ममेदम्
व्यपेत व्यपेतभिप्रीतमनाः प्रीतमना पुनस्त्वं
व्यपेतभिः प्रीतमनाः पुनस्त्वं
तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य.
तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य.
घोरम् ईदृक् मम घोरम् ईदृक् मम idam. It's a very complex word here. Goram idrik mama idam. Goram idrik mamedam. Quite a tongue twister. Now Sanjaya says, having Krishna said that, Ityarjunam Vasudevas tathoktva sakham rupam darshaya masa bhuyaha ashvashaya masa cha bhitamenam bhutva punas saumya vapur mahatma. So he's telling to Dhritarashtra, after saying like that, Vasudeva saying Atlas to Arjuna, he revealed his previous form, Sakam Rupam Darshayamasa. The terrified Arjuna was reassured. Ashvasayamasa, he was looking at his pleasant form, Saumya Vapur Mahatma, of the pleasant form of him. Looking at Arjuna was reassured once Krishna took on his pleasant form. That who was terrified, the terrified Arjuna became reassured now looking Krishna in the his familiar form. Sanjaya Uvacha
सञ्जय उवाच
इत्यर्जुनं वासुदेवस्ततोक्त्वा
इत्यर्जुनं वासुदेवस्ततोक्त्वा
स्वकं रूपं दर्शयामास भूयः
स्वकं रूपं दर्शयामास भूयः
आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं
आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं
भूत्वा पुनः सौम्यवपुर्महात्मा.
भूत्वा पुनः सौम्यवपुर्महात्मा.
So now Arjuna acknowledges, Arjuna uvacha दृष्ट्वेमं मानुषं रूपं तव सौम्यं जनार्दन इदानीमस्मि संवृत्तः सचेता प्रकृतिं गतः. He says, Krishna, now I feel I am at ease with normal state of mind, having seen your pleasant human-like form. Arjuna uvacha
अर्जुन उवाच
दृष्ट्वेदं मानुषं रूपं
दृष्ट्वेदं मानुषं रूपं
तव सौम्यं जनार्दन
तव सौम्यं जनार्दन
इदानीमस्मि संवृत्तः
इदानीमस्मि संवृत्तः
सचेता प्रकृतिं गतः.
सचेताः प्रकृतिं गतः.
Krishna says, Bhagavan Vacha, Sududarshamidam Rupam Trishtavanase Yanmama Devapyasya Rupasya Nityam Darshana Kankshinaha. He says that the universal form you saw now, uh, you have seen is very rare. Even the Devas, uh, Apiyasya, even Devas too, they have not seen me in that form. So you are very unique. Even the Devas have not seen that. So the universal form of mind that you just saw is very rare. Even the Devas are always longing to see. They're nityam darshana kankshinaha. They're akanksha, they have to see. Mean all the time they want to see me like that. Always they are interested to see me, but they have not seen. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Sududarshamidam Rupam
सुदुर्दर्शमिदं रूपं
Drishtavanasi Yanmama
दृष्टवानसि यन्मम
Deva Apyasya Rupasya
देवा अप्यस्य रूपस्य
Nityam Darshana Kankshinaha.
नित्यं दर्शनकाङ्क्षिणः.
Also says how rare, how to see this. Naham Vedai na tapasa na danena na chejjaya shakya evam vido drashtam drishtavanasi mam yatha. You can't see that by the study of the Vedas. nor by yajna, nor by dana, na dana, na tapa, uh, any kind of worship. Ijja, cha, ijjaya. Ijjaya is different kinds of uh, worship. Ijjaya is different kinds of yajna. So many kinds of yajnas are there. Even with any of those things, it is not able, you cannot see me with any of them. By doing that, no one can, even doing all those things, no one can see me the way you have seen. So it's not only with Adhyana, no Madhyana, you can't see also. Naham Vedair na tapasa,
नाहं वेदैर्न तपसा
na dane na tachechaya,
न दानेन चेत् न चेज्जया
na tade na chechaya, na dane na chechaya, na dane na chechaya,
न दानेन न चेज्जया
shakya evam vidho drashtum,
शक्य एवं विदो द्रष्टुम्
drashtavanasi mam yatha.
दृष्टवानसि मां यथा
This is Bhaktya Tvananyaya Shakya Ahamevam Vidhorjuna Natham Drashtan Tatvena Praveshtan Cha Parantapa. But now he says, but I can be known. He didn't say Veda, Yajna, Dana, Tapassu, all those things, but may be known, seen and attained through single-minded devotion. So he's giving, he's emphasizing by bhakti, by devotion. But I may be known, seen and attained through single-minded devotion. So, bhaktya tvananyaya shakya
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्या
ahamevam vidhorjuna
अहमेवं विदोऽर्जुन
natam drashtam cha tatvena
ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन
praveshtam cha parantapa.
प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
So, this is the last concluding verse. Matkarma kran matparamo madbhakta sanghavarjitah nirvaira sarvabhuteshu yasa mameti pandava. Yes, that one who is truly devoted to me, matkarma kran matparamo, with dedicates all action to me, madbhaktaha, without attachment, sanghavarjitaha, without attachment, looks upon me as supreme. One who is truly devoted to me, dedicates all actions to me, and looks upon me as supreme. He is also nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. He has no animosity, no, of course, sanghavar, no attachment, no animosity, does not hate anyone, nirvaira. That kind of no animosity, uh, doesn't hate anyone. Without doubt, such a person attains me. So it is one who is truly devoted to me, dedicates all actions to me, Madbhaktaha, and looks upon me as supreme. Parama, he looks at me as the supreme. He is free from attachment, Sanghavartitaha, and does not hate anyone. Nirvairaha, Sarva Bhuteshu Nirvairaha, doesn't hate anyone. Without doubt, attains me. Mami, yassa mameti pandava. Without doubt, he attains me. Mutkarma krin mat paramo,
मत्कर्म कृत् मत्परमो
madbhakta sangavarjitaha,
मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः
nirvaira sarva bhuteshu,
निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु
yassa mameti pandava.
यः स मामेति पाण्डव
This concludes this chapter. We'll do this concluding verse. Om Tat Saditi
ॐ तत्सदिति
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु
Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre
ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
Vishwarupa Darshana Yogo Nama
विश्वरूपदर्शनयोगो नाम
Ekadashodhyayaha.
एकादशोऽध्यायः
This was very wholesome. It's no Ekadashi. It was very rich chapter. And after all that gala, everything, after that mela, everything, finally he brought it to bhakti. So the next chapter, which we start now, chapter 12, is called Bhakti Yoga. So you conclude last 2, 3 verses here basically was leading to bhakti. So this chapter is called Bhakti Yoga or devotion. So chapter 12, Arjuna Vacha, Evam Satata Yukta E Bhaktastvam Paryupasate Echapyaksharam Avyaktam Teshanke Yoga Vittamaha. So he talks about people who worship you uh, as personal God. Or with their mind fixed on you. Tatata Viktaye. There are others who contemplate on the eternal Aksharam, that is, Echapyaksharam Avyaktam. They concentrate on the formless, abstract, formless. Who among them knows yoga better? The one who worships God with form or saguna or nirguna, without any form, with form or without form. Arjuna wishes to know who is better established in the yoga. Those who worship Krishna as he described uh, are those who follow his earlier statement. Right? Earlier statement he was telling avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mam abhuddaya param bhava majananto mamavyaya manuttamam. That's what he had told in chapter 7. And whereas here, the concluding in chapter 11, he said, Madhbhakta, right? One who truly devoted me, dedicates actions to me, looks at me, kind of very personal God, like a so who is better established in the yoga, Arjuna? So there are people who worship you as personal God with form and attributes, with the forearms, with all those things, with their mind fixed on you. There are others who contemplate um, on the eternal and formless. Who among them knows yoga better? So Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna uvacha
Evam Satata Yukta Ye
evam satata ye
Bhaktastvām Paryupasate
bhaktastvām paryupasate
Ye Chapyaksharam Avyaktam
ye chapyaksharamavvyaktam
Teshanke Yoga Vittamaha.
tesham ke yogavittamaha.
Who are better established. Yoga Vittama is who are more perfect in the yoga. Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Veshya Mayo Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddaya Parayopetaha Teme Yuktatama Mataha. He says, in my opinion, those who always worship me, Nitya Yuktaha, as a personal God, Maya Veshya Manoyama, on their mind, as a personal God, worship me with attributes, with discipline and faith, Shraddhaya, with uh, Parayopeta, those are the people better established in Yuktatama Mataha. In my opinion, they are better established. Those who worship me, all those who always worship me as personal God with forms and attributes, with discipline and faith, are better established in yoga. So Nitya Yukta always worship me. So he's telling worshipping God in form is better. So Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Maya Veshamano Ye Mam
Mayyaveshya mano ye mam
Nitya Yukta Upasate
nityayukta upasate
Shraddhaya Parayopetaha
shraddhaya parayopetaah
Te me Yuktatama Mataha.
te me yuktatama mataah.
Now he says about the people who worship the abstract form, avyaktam, etvaksharamanirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatragamachintyancha kutastam achalam dhruvam. So yet those who worship the all-pervading, the eternal, formless, the changeless, the inconceivable, and the immovable. So it continues. So it's talking about those who worship the all-pervading, the abstract, the eternal, the formless, the changeless, avyaktam, worship paryupasate, sarvatra gamachintyam, is always, everywhere pervading, inconceivable, achintyam. Achintyam, you can't convince it, inconvincible, and immovable. Kutastam, achalam, dhruvam, it is immovable. So all those things. Those who worship the all-pervading, the eternal, the formless, the changeless, the inconceivable, and the immovable. So it continues, but we can do that. Etvaksharamanirdeshyam
ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम्
avyaktam paryupasate
अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते
sarvatra gamachintyancha
सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च
kutastamachalam dhruvam
कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः. So to continues, those people we talked about in the previous verse with complete control over their senses. Sanniyamyendriyagram sarvatra samabuddhya, having same kind of balance in all situations, in rejoicing. Sarvatra samabuddhya, and also rejoicing, sarva bhuta hite rataha. They're rejoicing in the welfare of all. They also reach me. So the people who are worshipping the abstract form, all-encompassing, those kind of people, they have to have good control over the senses, balanced in all situations, and rejoicing in the welfare of all. They also reach me. Sanniyamyendriya gramam
संनियमेन्द्रियग्रामं
sarvatra samabuddhayaha
सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः
te prapnuvanti mameva
ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव
sarvabhuta hite rataha.
सर्वभूतहिते रताः.
So these people have to do a lot more things compared to the one just worshipping the form. When he says, what is the problem with that? Klesho dikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkam deha vadbhiravapyate. So kleshaha adhikaha for that kind of people is more painful, more troublesome. Greater is the trouble for those who worship, who contemplate on the formless. For it's only through much pain that they succeed in the path to the invisible, unmanifest God. It is uh, much harder for them, uh, for the embodied, because we have a body, we have a form, everything. For us, it is a lot more difficult to connect to something which has no form. So greater is the trouble. Kleshaha adhikaha tesham, for those who contemplate on the formless, avyaktat sakta chetasam, those who contemplate on the avyakta, because they only through avyakta hi gatir dukkam, only through much effort, much pain, that they succeed in the path to the unmanifest God. It's a little bit harder, like doing the calculation mentally. Of course, if you're Shakuntala Devi, it's okay. For me, even with calculator, I make mistakes. So it makes it easier to do with when you write it down rather than just doing mentally. Kleshodikatarastesham
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम्
avyaktat saktachetasam
अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
avyakta hi gatir dukkham
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम्
tehavad viravapyate.
देहवद्भिरवाप्यते.
So it's interesting. Our temple, of course, is a lot of interfaith, interculture things. So we have people visiting from different religions, irreligion, nothing like that. Once we had some people visit us from the local Islamic society. So this one of these visitors was asking, isn't it so dumb that you really need a form? Because of course in the Islam, they don't believe in any kind of form. Uh, at least, uh, at least Christians have cross and some kind of form. Especially Catholics have kind of different kinds of figurines and things like that. Even the Greek Orthodox, all of them have. So she was asking me, are we so dumb that we need to have some kind of a form to look at? Then I asked her, do you think Einstein is dumb or smart? Yeah, of course he is. And then why did he write E equals mc square? He could have just, there was no need to write. There is no E written on energy, no M written on mass. Why did he write all those things? And how does the entire chemistry works? There is no Na on sodium, no Cl on, nothing is written on that. But using these things, are able to do so many things. Uh, so then she kept quiet. Kleshodika tesham.
Uh, Klesh idaito, sir.
We did that.
Ah,
You can do one more time. It's easy to
okay.
choose a klesha to that one more time.
Okay.
Kleshodika tesham.
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम्
Avyaktat sakta chetasam.
अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
Avyakta hi gatir dukkham.
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम्
Dehavadviravapyate.
देहवद्भिरवाप्यते.
Of course, we don't have a requirement that you have to worship a form, but it just makes it easy. Etu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena ma dhyayantya upasate. Now he talks about, but those who worship me, by dedicating their actions to me. Mai sarvani karmani, dedicating it to me, considering me as the supreme, and meditating upon me with single-minded concentration. He continues that. We'll do that one sloka and stop here. So, by but those who worship me, by dedicating their actions to me, considering me as the supreme goal, and meditating upon me with single-minded concentration, etu sarvani karmani
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि
mayi sanyasya matparaha
मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः
ananyenaiva yogena
अनन्
madhyayanta I'm sorry, ananyenaiva yogena
अनन्येन नैव योगेन
madhyayanta upasate.
मां ध्यायन्त उपासते.
So this is last sloka for today. Teshamaham, so such people, Teshamaham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. So those people, that kind of people he talked about in the previous verse, for those people whose mind abides in me, I liberate them readily from the deadly ocean of worldly life, O Arjuna. So, from this deadly ocean of life, Samudharta, Mrityu Samsara Sagara, this ocean of samsara, uh, very quickly, Nacharat, I don't take too long, I quickly liberate. For those whose minds abide in me, I liberate them readily, Nachirat, from the deadly ocean of worldly life, O Arjuna. Kind of come, those are the people who worship me, dedicating their action to me, considering me as the supreme, and meditating upon me with single-minded, ananyena yogena, that kind of people. I liberate them from the deadly ocean of samsara, ocean of worldly life. So, teshamaham samudharta
तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता
mrityu samsara sagarat
मृत्युसंसारसागरात्
bhavami nachirat partha
भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ
maya veshita chetasam.
मय्या वेशितचेतसाम्.
We'll do just one more verse. We'll do this place. Maya, it's there. Can have nice breakfast in Maya restaurant. Mayeva mana adatsva मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः. So me only. Fix your mind on me, in Supreme. You will certainly reach the Supreme. There is no doubt about this. Mayeva mana adasva. Mayi means Supreme. On me only, you fix your mind, you fix your intellect. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Uh, Once you do that, you will certainly, no doubt, uh, you will reach the Supreme. You will reach me. Ata urdhvam, you reach me, na samshaya. Okay? Mayyeva mana adatsva.
मय्येन मन आदत्स्व
Mayi buddhin niveshaya.
मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय
Nivasishyasi mayyeva.
निवसिष्यसि मय्येव
Ata urdhvam na samshayaha.
अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः.
So you are in second block Jayanagar, you want to go to Maya restaurant in JP Nagar or fourth block. When your mind is like that, you will be there. No doubt about that. So I will stop here, and I think Hari is there today. He can give us some highlights.
There is one of the opening verses which you said today, which is trying to connect all the different characters of the Mahabharata. I forget I think Drona and Jayadratha and Kaivartaka Keshavaha. I think
Bhishma Drona Tata, Jayadratha Jala.
Bhishma Drona Tata. So there is a word Nilotpala, which basically is like a kind of blue lily or some kind of a flower. So there doesn't go so well with Shakuni. So some variations, some Pathantaras read it as Nilopala, I think, which is kind of a blue color stone, kind of stone hearted. Anyway, that's just an aside. In the 45th shloka, right, he's requesting Krishna to get him to display his regular form. Says Adrishta Purvam Hrishitosmi Drishtva Bhayena cha Pravyatitam Manome. So there, it's very interesting because whenever we have like a remarkable experience of some high level vision, it's very difficult to stay in that heightened state for a long time. For that, we need to have also certain ability and training. It's also one of the reasons why Krishna tells Arjuna that I need to give you Divya Chakshu, otherwise you will not be able to see, you will not be able to sustain seeing this great form. So it's something we can experience in our own life, right? When we are in the middle of something which is so heightened, like for example a fantastic movie which you have seen, which is so intense and so emotionally rich, and which has totally made you forget everything. You would have really enjoyed it. You'll probably say, oh, this is the best movie I have seen. But if you ask somebody to watch the movie once again back to back, they'll not be able to take it because it is such a rich and emotional experience. So sometimes we need to go there and come back to the normal state, and only if somebody really has gone beyond all the bindings of artha kama can we sustain at that stage. So even though somebody may be willing to grant you this state of permanent bliss, not everybody is ready for it. So I think that's a very nice, very human aspect of Gita, where we see it says, okay, I've seen this great vision, it's awesome, but let me kind of get back to my day-to-day life. And then also Dr. Sri Krishna was mentioning in the 47th shloka that although Krishna says this, nobody has seen it before. Yashoda, he has shown that universal form, and in the during Sandhana. So my just possible interpretation for this, as I was listening to him, was Krishna is a very clever guy. So he's probably want to make Arjuna feel happy. You are the first person who has seen this. Nobody can see this. You are a special guy. Now, all said and done, like just pretty please with strawberries on it, go and fight. So that maybe also he has got that thing to just make Krishna, Arjuna feel happy that he's very special. So the basic idea is you just go and fight. So in that sense, possibly he was just mentioning to him that he is special.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very, very interesting. The 11th chapter, especially, he gives us a complete picture of so many things. And I think that's one of the first chapters which attracts us when we read Gita, the cosmic form, Vishwarupa.
Yeah. Especially when we are young, my mother's mother used to, whenever she came from Mysore, she would make me to do this chapter 11. So this is the chapter I have done most number of times. It's also pretty long.
And also from the point of view of recitation, I think if somebody learns this chapter thoroughly, the rest of the Gita become very easy to recite.
Yeah. If you can do chapter 11, yeah.
Just a comment about chapter 11. Many Bharatanatyam performances include this chapter where that Vishwarupa Darshana is very, very popular, right, in the dance world.
Because very
I've
visual, it's
seen
one of
many
the very
Bharatanatyam
visual aspects
performances.
of Gita.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Sorry?
mostly like a didactic portion, it's very hard to emote for do abhinaya. Whereas in this, you have so much of visual possibilities. You can show the variety of beings and things like that.
Expressions, yeah.
Lot of this is another chapter I've seen people do is Arjuna's role in chapter 1. They do a lot of dance on that also.
There's a lot of opportunity
There is another scope for action.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not a very happy dancer. It can be that one.
And also from a point of view of the Chandas, the 11th chapter has got more of the Trishtuk verses, 11 syllables. So in a way also is for people who read Gita and who want to get into some little bit of Sanskrit poetry, it's a nice segue because you get familiar. And later in the classical Sanskrit works, you will encounter, meters like Vasanta Tilaka and Mandakranta, Shardula Vikridita, which are much longer. So to get familiar with that, in the 11 syllables, if you are, you are able to recite, then it's also a nice entry point to the literature.
This also has a lot of prayers, right? For Tamadi Deva Purusha Purana Tamasya Visvasya Param Nidanam, like that. Like Guru Guru likes to do everything using Gita. There's a lot of prayers in chapter 11. You don't have to go looking for any slokas to praise God. Everything is right here itself, built in. Where Arjuna was praising him, a lot of those things. Of course, there's some more Kavim Puranam, Manushasitaram, that's also there, but there is quite a few verses here. Actually, I understood why Arjuna trembled so much. I saw that this happened in real life. When we were in Bottlesville, Oklahoma, we had good friend Raj Bhushan, who is also attending, I think. His son Shivi was 2 years old. We had just gotten back collecting all the Halloween candies. He came and asked me, Uncle, I want candy. I gave him one, and he said, I don't know, another one he was doing. What I did was I dumped the whole pumpkin full of candy, plastic on the floor, asked him, take whatever you want. He went there, he was very happy, he took it, and this, that, he started crying after a few minutes. Because that was like Vishwarupam for him, that variety of different kinds of candies. And I told him, you can have anything you want. And it was just on the kitchen floor. He first took that, took this, took that, like that. Then he threw everything and started crying. So that's what. Then I gave him just one simple Tootsie, one candy. So then he was happy. Anyway, so that you can see.
Also, another thing, Sindhu has questions. So,
Thank you. Just relating to what Hari sir just said about the wish, the like you don't want to see him again, or the movie. If you like it, you don't want to see it again because you want to calm down first, right? So can I relate that to the people of this world? Some of might not even think of this divine power, or they're just living their lives, right? Just for the heck of it, right? Another group might be thinking, okay, since I am in touch with Gita, maybe I mean, I want to progress further, right, in spirituality, right? So, and there might be third, and that I probably would go to that extent that I will not want to take a rebirth. Then there are the third people who would say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm growing in spirituality, right? But I think I should take another birth. I mean, you have that wish, right? So can you relate this third quality of people to the statement that you mentioned about the watching the movie or looking at the Vishwarup of Krishna?
I think that when it comes to rebirth and thing, so first of all, it's a belief. So if you have the belief, then all the next things start. And I think Dr. Sri Krishna, in one of the earlier thing, he has given a very nice, example of like attending a wedding or some, reception or something and going to the buffet. So when your stomach is full, you won't go back into the line. But when you're hungry, you want to go back and get, second helping of some whatever roti or curry or whatever you want to have. So I think it's when it comes to rebirth, it is like when you feel that you are not completed something, then there is the question arises. Whereas if somebody is on the path of spirituality and realizes that the whole objective that at least traditionally put forth by the savants of the past is that you want to try and get rid of this samsara sagara. The whole objective is you want to get out. But when we are not able to get out, when we are having still cravings, then naturally it leads to another, like a rebirth or something. So I think that a person who's really understood the teachings or who believes in the teachings will not crave for rebirth usually. So it is when they don't have this access to the teaching, when then they have only theoretically understood, then I think probably they will be craving for one more birth, because most of the great saints and others, the Harikatha and all these people, everybody have sung the songs and ballads and everything, giving praying for release. So when we know that the next birth is anyway, it's going to be another ground, another rigmarole like the present one. Even though you may be like, even earlier we saw this idea of Gunatita. In next birth, maybe you are born in a millionaire's thing and you are probably having a private jet and everything, but still it will be like a golden cage. It's a golden handcuff. Instead of having a iron handcuff, you're having a golden handcuff. The idea is to be free, which means like you want to go get out of the cycle of birth and death, which is the traditional view.
Okay, thank you.
Anu has some.
Yeah, I was thinking the closest we can get to a Vishwarupa Darshana is in Tirupati. Feel so close, and you feel that that trembling with faith and all those things. And also when you hear for the first time, when you hear that shloka Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, when someone says that, when the enormity of that statement sinks into your mind, you get that feeling of how insignificant we are in this whole scheme of things. That's a feeling of gadgada that we feel. Just wanted to share
So
that.
sometimes
Yeah, but don't eat the laddu now. Huh?
Yeah. That's been on my mind the whole day, you know.
No, I was just joking. But yes, so basically, when that's in fact, that's exactly why we have the whole idea of Diwaliya or, this kind of shrine or something. It's a indication that makes us forget everything. So, whether it's some people will find it in Tirupati, some people in, Chidambaram or Tiruvannamalai, whatever. The whole idea of Diwaliya itself is that you are cutting out all the senses and trying to focus on the Garbhagriha, on the deity, and we come face to face with that kind of divinity and think for that period of time. Whereas if you are to always be there, again, it's very difficult. That feeling is sometime when you are there for 30 seconds or 1 minute or 2 minutes or whatever, then you are really that you feel that. Whereas to always be in that heightened state is very difficult. Only few people can have that access. I mean, in terms of mental preparation.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes just a wife can make you feel how insignificant you are without having to go to Tirupati or anything like that. Anyway, a few other things. Just one more thing I want to mention. We all have the concept of 33 Koti Devatas. Some people translate it as 330 million. But we see that in chapter 11 and 10, a lot of that mentioned. It is interpreted as Koti is interpreted as variety, not necessarily always 10 million. Category, Koti as category or variety. So the 33 is supposed to be 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, then 8 Ashwins, and then 8 Vasus. And 2 Ashwins. There are always Ashwins come in pairs. So 2 of them. So they add up to 33 actually. 12 plus 11, 30, 23, then 8 plus 2, 33. A lot of time, even very learned people, Shashi Tharoor was telling 330 million gods, and people say, how can you have 330 million gods? I said, right now, the required number for Hindus is billions, not in million. Because any aspect in this universe, we can connect as God. Any person, anything, any rock, any pebble, anything in the universe, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, we can connect. So 330 million is nothing. So that refers to 33 categories. Andal knew this. Shashi Tharoor did not know, but Andal tells in the Pasharman 20, Muppattu Movar Amarar. So he talks about 33 is great Amarars. So I think, but a lot of people, very learned people also say 330 million like that. So I think it is just those 33 categories. I think no other question, and we can all become more significant. Then सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् यतो धर्मः ततः कृष्णः यतः कृष्णः ततो जयः. Thank you all. See you tomorrow. We can finish rest of chapter 12 and maybe some 13 too. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಸರ್.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.